It's your hockey Jesus, and I'm back this morning. That's right. It's morning, the next day. I'm still up. I've managed to get through the frozen frenzy, and what fun it was watching all the hockey tonight. However, it wasn't so much fun for the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight. Tonight, the Pittsburgh Penguins lose in a shootout 4-3, and there were some good things to take away from this game, and there were some terrible things to take away from this game. As always, the Pittsburgh Penguins get their first loser point of the season. If you've been listening to the Hockey Jesus, like I'm sure you have been because you have been hitting that subscribe button, you know that I don't like the loser points. I don't like to go blah, blah, dash, blah. That's stupid. We don't do that here on the porch. The Hockey Jesus does not believe in loser points, although we will take the point. That's why we got 7. But we are 3-5 on the season now. We are not 3-4-1, although technically we are. I count tonight as a loss. I don't care if you lose in overtime. I don't care if you lose in a shootout. You lost, but you gain a point. So we counted as, just so you know, I counted as 3-5. 3 wins, 5 losses, 7 points. Enough of that. Let's get to the game. I actually thought that the Pens came out absolutely horrible, stale, flat, and Ned saved their ass again. It seems to be an ongoing theme with this Pittsburgh Penguins team this year where they come out and Ned's got to make a bunch of saves just to keep him in it. And, as it turns out, Calgary did get the first goal. They go up 0-1, basically get the first 7 shots of the game and just totally outplay the Pittsburgh Penguins. And they end up getting a goal. They get rewarded with a goal. And then the penalties come. There were so many penalties. I'm not even going to count how many penalties. It was actually both teams, both Calgary and Pittsburgh had some really dumb penalties. I don't know if they just got tired of skating and decided that pulling down people was the better way to play the game. But it actually benefited the Pittsburgh Penguins. I thought their penalty kill was the reason that they came back. They got some good momentum right after the beginning of the second period. Gino came out of the box, and Pittsburgh Penguins went on to power play, and they scored. And I think that was a good catalyst for them. They ended up going up 2-1 as they scored kind of again on a power play. It was the end of the power play a few seconds afterwards. Rax just got some puck luck, 2-1. And honestly, I know as Pittsburgh Penguins fans, we just say, can't this hold? Can't it just hold? Can't we just do this? Can't we win a 2-1 game? And the answer to that question is almost always, no, we can't. Because Uyghur comes around and slaps an absolute rocket right past Ned. Ned was good for the most part, but he wasn't clutch down the stretch. There were some saves that he could have made. I'm not saying he could have made the save on that Uyghur shot. That was a rocket ship. But when they pulled the goalie after Noel Acciari, by the way, I did not see Noel Acciari coming and getting that third goal late in the third period. That was a gutsy goal. I actually wrote down 7 minutes left. There was an icing that happened, and Sully put out the fourth line, and I'm like, you put out the fourth line. Why would you put out the fourth line there? And I know the first line was out there, and they were a little gassed because they were out there for a while on the same icing penalty. But the fourth line, and they ended up getting a goal. So, hey, Sully knows more about hockey than the Hockey Jesus, and that's not too big of a surprise. And they go up 3-2, but as always, I shouldn't say always, Calgary pulls the goalie, and 7 icings later, there had to have been at least 7 icings. Down, stop, down, stop, down, stop. Nobody can get off the ice. The whole team is gassed, and they just can't get to the rebound that's sitting right there. And Kadri just slams it home to send it in overtime. Actually, I was very surprised. This overtime period was pretty much no opportunities for either team. Pittsburgh was skating in the neutral zone a lot. Calgary didn't seem like they know how to play the overtime game either, to be honest. And there was really not a lot of really good opportunities in overtime. I'm telling you, I've said this. The hockey Jesus has said this, and it will happen. 3-on-3 overtime is starting to lose its luster. It's just not what it used to be. Teams are starting to understand how to play against it. It's all about the line change. You do it right. You attack with 2 people on the puck. You can steal the puck, and it just becomes like overtime used to be when it was 5-on-5, boring and predictable, and on to a shootout. The shootout was actually pretty impressive. Rack scored, Sid hits a post, Russ scored to extend it, and then the Pittsburgh Penguins don't score after that. Letang, Eller, and Gino all miss, and Wolf gets the win. Wolf was a little bit better than Ned tonight. He had a .921 save percentage, and Ned had an .880 save percentage. So tonight, the Pittsburgh Penguins lose in a shootout 4-3. But get a loser point. 3-5, people. It's not looking good. Remember what I said. They got to get the 4 wins minimum, which means they absolutely have to find a way to beat Edmonton on Friday, who, by the way, was winning 2-0 and ended up losing 3-2 in overtime to Carolina. So they're hungry for a win. They're 2-4 on the season. So Edmonton's going to come out hungry against the Pens. I think you'll probably see Bloomquist in goal on Friday night. By the way, Tristan Jarry was a scratch again tonight, so he's not playing. He's not playing on this West Coast trip at all. Maybe he'll be the backup tomorrow. Maybe they'll scratch Ned just to have him ready for Saturday, because they do play back to back. They play Friday and Saturday, and I am thankful to the hockey gods for that, because. Friday night and Saturday night games, no problem. Tonight, gonna be a little tired tomorrow, but that's what I do for you guys out there in hockey land. 3 things with the Frozen Frenzy that I'm just going to go over real quick before I call it a night. The Capitals, I watched the Capitals play the Flyers. The Capitals look like they're for real. They have a little bit of speed. They've been getting really good shots on goal. Spencer Carberry, their new coach at the middle of last year, looks like a pretty good coach, and he's getting these guys to play for him. Kind of reminds me of Torts last year when he was coaching for the Flyers. I think the Caps are for real. Trouba with another headshot tonight. Look, I know it wasn't an elbow. All you people out there who want to say it wasn't an elbow, it was fine. It was not fine. Anytime you hit somebody and you hit their head first, should be an automatic 10-game suspension. I will say that forever because I know it'll never happen. And lastly, good for ESPN doing the Frozen Frenzy. All the hockey teams were playing tonight, 16 games, each 15 minutes apart. Brilliant marketing. Way to go, ESPN. Way to go, NHL. And the best part about it was, I don't know, maybe sometime in the third period, Weeksy and Buchagras were interviewing the commissioner, Gary Bettman. I swear to God, it looked like they pulled him out of bed to do this interview. He looked so tired and so haggard. It was hilarious. Look, I'm not an anti-Bettman guy. There are a lot of guys. There are a lot of hockey fans out there who don't like Gary Bettman. I'm meh on Bettman, so I'm not blasting him. But if you go out and check the video of his interview, and you can't tell me that he looks like he was sleeping through that interview. So, Pittsburgh Penguins lose tonight to the Calgary Flames 4-3 in a shootout. And I will be back on Saturday night when the Pittsburgh Penguins move their West Coast 0-2 on the West Coast with 1 point. And they're moving on to Edmonton to play the Connor McDavid Oilers. So until then, let's go Pens, and I will see you in the next one.